kick off another season of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. On the run here, Ford cuts back, makes something happen with perhaps the dagger.
Runs in and goes upstairs. Mimico is leading 7-4.
For Zavitz, number of figs, the twist, the score!
And he scores his first of the year. KW is up 3.
Nolan Marshall shoots left, and that opened it up for the tie game. The Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week takes us to Tony Rose Arena for the first time this season, where the Orangeville Northmen and Mimico Mountaineers, who always face each other tightly, will go to battle here in just a few moments' time. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside the JVI Sports Network crew, and my partner who knows a few things about both of these teams, played for the Mimico Mountaineers, played for and won a Minto Cup with the Orangeville Northmen, Jonathan Donville. Great to have you back, and this is always an exciting night for these two teams when they face off.
Yeah, it's one of the best venues in our sport, two of the best teams in our sport. It's great to be here. A lot of good people in this building on both sides. Great to reconnect with a lot of folks tonight. I'm really excited to watch this game. At one point in my life, beating Orangeville in this building meant a whole lot to me. And then obviously when I got a chance to play here, winning in this building also meant a whole lot to me. So it's great to be back.
Glad to have you back as well. As there's nobody better, I think, to talk about these two benches than someone who was on the Mimico in the double blue, going right to left. Home side white with black lettering, Orangeville Northmen. Going left to right as we are underway, and it is the opening face-off going the way of Jaden Chaparra. Yes, Jonathan, he's from Cornell, and he gets this game started underway. To the outside, Liam Matthews, going to be a top point getter this season and all night long for the Northmen. As they work it through Cam Sanderson over to the far side. Joey Spallina bouncing around, tries a twist shot. One of, by my count, 6 Syracuse Orange players in this game tonight.
I was going to take it there, Matty, on the first possession. You made it about Cornell. No complaints here. But if you're seeing the orange gloves around this game, chances are they're from Syracuse, and they're players that fans will know. Finn Thompson, likely to be one of the top 2 scorers in all of the OJLL this year. Joey Spallina should be up there as well. Trey Deere is a guy a lot of lacrosse fans know, another very talented player. Joey Spallina's brother, Jake, is also playing. You'll see him on the back end actually guarding the ball right now. So lots of talent, and a couple in there that we missed as well.
Another player from Mimico who puts up points, Lucas Dudemain there trying to find Henry Campanini.
Yeah, and Dudemain and Thompson have really been the story of the early season for Mimico, but also across the entire league. Some absolutely absurd performances. I believe Finn Thompson had 17 points in his first 2 games. If you're doing the math, that's pretty good. And then, Finn is a righty. His favorite lefty target is Dudemain.
Second in Mimico scoring is Finn Thompson, but it's a 2-on-1 with Trey Deere. And the shot coming from Garen Jennings, the rookie, having a strong campaign so far with 5 goals through his first 3 games.
Matty, some things change, some things don't change. Orangeville's going to want to push the pace, play in transition, and get easy goals.
Or just take outside bounce shots. Why not? And it does come from Spallina.
Matty, Joyce Bellino, one of the most notable players in the entire OJLL, a fantastic field lacrosse player at Syracuse, was an all-ACC selection this year, had a huge summer last year with Orangeville, comes up again to do it this year. One of a few Americans in this game that we'll touch on. Not a whole lot to analyze on that goal. Shoots through a screen, does a good job, gets a good bounce. He'll be happy to see they had 10 points in his first game back.
Now it's Mimico coming back the other way and a bouncer in front of Zach Richards. It has been Lyndon Hill who's been in net for most of the starts for the Northmen this season, but Zach Richards, who backed up Chris Origlieri last year, in the pipes tonight for the Hornheads. Outside Thompson across for Lee, and Justin Lee's shot blocked. Chaparra back down floor, shot! And Whittom looking behind him, and he kept it on the correct side of the line.
Boy, Chaparra looks a lot like number 4, Tanner Buck, in that Orangeville number 4 jersey. Different player, a scrappy defensive player. As you mentioned, went to Cornell. Talking to the folks at Cornell, they really love what he brings to the team and to the game. A captain of this Northman team, you know, just kind of a quintessential Orangeville player. Really scrappy, really aggressive transition, can do everything on the floor.
Ball not in that Orangeville end very long as it comes in. Liam Matthews with another shot, quickly through Spolina to the far side, cutting back in, and it's the rookie Dylan Sanderson.
Something to watch with Matthews, number 7, very effective with that toe drag move. So a lefty, instead of getting in the middle, often likes to go down kind of towards the short side with that toe drag. Been very effective at it for a long time for these Northmen.
Aiden Long in front of Whittom that time, the shot, and we got our first penalty of the game. It will come to Mimico, giving everyone a chance to just kind of take their breath a little bit as action's fast and furious for the first 3 minutes.
Obviously, Matty, not the first game for these two teams, but for one thing, Mimico hasn't played very many games, and for another, really starting to get all their guys back from school. So for some players, this is the first game. As you mentioned, for Zach Richards in the Orangeville goal, it is the first game. Friday night, a big crowd here on hand at Tony Rose Arena, so expect some up-tempo, fast, kind of scrambly play here early before they get settled in.
Still a couple guys, as you said, returning from school. Orangeville waiting on Elijah Edwards. Colm Barnett, the graduating senior, as the first shot bounces wide of the net on the Mimico penalty. On Mimico's side of things, Jacob Keller yet to return from school. He's at prep school in the States. Cole Teeple, by the way, playing his first game in a Northman uniform this year as he just returned from RIT.
Another great run for the Tigers there. Is something like 25 Canadians on the roster. You know, just about every impact player down there, is from north of the border. So one of many, not only on this team, but a long line of RIT Canadians who have been very effective. And a lot of Orangeville guys for that matter.
By the way, Ryan Steins will room with Jacob Keller when Keller returns. Steins coming from Utah, getting the majority of the rag possession there. Trey Deer not sure where the ball was, nearly got intercepted. About halfway through this first power play for Orangeville. Spolina around the back to Deer, to Matthews, his shot blocked. And now coming off to the races, Aaron Taguri. Taguri slowed up and got filled in. And that ball had to be passed away, and it gets knocked down in the crease.
A difficult end to that play for Aaron Taguri, but I was lucky to play with his brother Josh. That was a quintessential Taguri play there. Blocks the shot, takes it all the way down the floor. Again, some bad luck for him at the end. And then Orangeville just kind of not paying enough attention coming back up the floor. Taking a little too long, get the 8-second violation.
That's when you go through the drive-thru and they forgot something in your Happy Meal. You have to go back. Only 2/3 of it right there.
Yeah, it's just that's just the sandwich, not the full Happy Meal.
Okay. Here's Steins again to the outside. No rush here. There's still 23 seconds left in that penalty. Steins one-on-one on the run. Sidearm shot. Gets through. Richards the save and rebound picked up here by Orangeville.
Yeah, Stein's a guy, really good field player for the University of Utah. He is American. I had him as the A-Sun Conference Player of the Year this year. If you're a fan of the NCAA tournament, he was a part of that team from Utah that made the NCAA tournament. A very good field player, very good shooter. But like I said, American, still figuring out the field game. But on a personal level, massive props to all those American players who come up, man. A lot of guys talk about it, significantly less actually do it. Credit to Spalina, Jake Spalina, all those other players, and Steins for coming up and actually getting it done.
Joey Spalina wasn't the first, but when that was announced from Orangeville, it was automatically a huge get, not just for Orangeville, but for Joey Spalina as well. Because a lot of those field guys, as we know, go to the NLL. So coming here, getting a chance to feel the box game first. Trey Deer feeling it firsthand over there in the corner. You got Sandwich looking for that loose ball. Now Sanderson gets chopped down, and it'll be an interference call here against Mimico. Chiguri in there again. Not shocked, I don't think.
Yeah, Mimico definitely getting a piece of every cutter that goes through right now. Trying to make it hard to get to the middle. Orangeville creating some good shots, has a good look there for Matthews. He's not going to miss too many of those. Matthews is a guy not going to see too many overhand shots. Everything's going to come from kind of an underhand release, and that really sets up his toe drag as well.
That was Waters, I believe. Mark Waters. Number of senior players on this Mimico team, and he's one of them. He's looking for that outside shot. Cutting through. Cohen Jennings gets taken down at the end of the play. By the way, our officials are Mike Melvin, Kyle Coulter, and Simon D'Souza, who may have their hands full here tonight, but two teams that, as we said, play each other hard. Spalina. They call a moving screen in front of him on Sanderson. And now Mimico will get the ball back.
I think Mimico was lucky to get away without a penalty there on the start of that possession, and Orangeville probably lucky at the end. Very easily could have been a delayed game there.
Steins dropping the shoulder and a moving screen in through the middle. Officials are going to call that tight. And two teams that like to score from the outside, but it is those screens and the picks through the middle that open up those shots. So both teams are going to want to make that happen in on the defense. Here's Matthews. Slipped a little as he accepted the Spalina pass. Now Deer trying to finesse it through on the crease to Sean Costigan. All the way down floor. Shot for Mimico looked like off the crossbar. Comes back towards center where Costigan has it again. And now goes down the wall to Deer.
Richards has been sharp here, Matty. I got a little help from the goalie's best friend there, the post. He's been sharp here, like you said, in his first start of the summer.
And it's been a shaky first 3 games or so for Linden Hill, so I think this is a big game for Richards as another shot comes from Spalina. That one towards the 5-hole of Nate Whittam, who hangs on. Mimico earlier this season played, I believe, back-to-back nights. Whittam was spectacular on night 1, and then not so much 24 hours later, replaced by Owen Power for his first win of the season.
Yeah, luckily for Mimico, Matty, on some nights it's not going to matter. This offense is so high-powered.
Yes.
Their goaltending situation, especially in the regular season, is going to be a little bit less important than some other teams. I think in the playoffs, that's when that stuff really comes up. But like you said, they have 2 options now, and they can kind of sort it out as the year goes on.
This is Justin Tavares leading the attack back the other way. And Cameron Pack will bring it across center. Trade deadline acquisition for Orangeville in last year's deadline. Matthews dancing around, broken stick out there in the middle of the offense. We're a minute and a half away from the halfway mark of this period.
I was just going to say, Matty, with obviously no media timeouts in summertime, but we're really buzzing here through this first period. If you're Orangeville, you got to be really happy. Obviously, you're winning. Shout out me there for the hard-hitting analysis. You're happy that you're winning. But I think you're happy with the pace. You're getting up and down. You're keeping the ball out of Finn Thompson's stick for the most part. Haven't called his name too many times. And then obviously you're limiting this high-powered Mimico offense.
Alex Roussel taken down at the hands of Pack as he was shooting close to the over and back, and Waters couldn't save it.
Waters throwing that ball at the end of the possession into the mesh. Not a penalty in the OJ. It is a penalty in the LL. Learned that one the hard way.
I was going to ask how you knew that rule existed.
Yeah. You can figure that one out for yourself.
Trey Deer. His outside shot. That hits off Whittam and goes up into the screening. And we'll get the reset. And this is where Orangeville is dangerous, when they can come out and put a play together. You see Spallina trying to make room for Dylan Sanderson. Your Gatorade Rookie of the Week for week number 1. Trey Deer towards the crease. Fakes over the shoulder. Turns and fires and scores.
This was a good battle all shift. Trey Deer going at it with McDonald from Mimico, just battling the whole shift. He's going to kind of post up a good feed into Spallina there with the post up, and then right here he's going to fake the behind the back shot and go for the wrap shot. That's just pretty slick. Like I said, lacrosse fans, a lot of them know Trey Deer. They know he's got a deep bag of tricks. That's another good example. Goes for that. I think Connor Fields, when I see that move, he loves that fake behind the back shot. It's a really good weapon. It seems to get defenders a lot because they can't see you. They're engaged in the contact. They can't see the stick. Oftentimes it gets a little bit of a reaction from the defense.
Well, Trey Deer's been here long enough now that everyone knows he's got a full bag of tricks. So you expect him to take that shot, and then he turns around and wraps it around the defender, who is in great position.
Yeah, it's a good point, Matt, because it's like a 2-for-1, right? Because as a defender, you know that he's capable of shooting behind the back shot. So that's when the fakes come in. It just accelerates as you add more moves. Then you get more fakes, etc.
Another outside attempt for Sanderson. This one skips off the low glass here on the fan side at Tony Rose.
Good opportunity for Thompson here to go to work.
You said first time I think that we're even mentioning the name Finn Thompson, back-to-back OJLL scoring champion, who still has, listed as a senior, graduating this year. I thought he had one more year after this, but this will be it for Thompson. 17 points away from the Mimico scoring record that has been held since 1966. Just recently passed one Jonathan Donville for second all-time.
Yeah, I don't know what took him so long, Matty. If I could, congrats obviously to him. He's going to smoke the record. It was a kind of a bittersweet moment for me. Bitter because I lost it, and sweet because I didn't know I was even close. So I'll take it. And Matt, you were good to let me know about it on Twitter.
And Trey Deer will take that, his second of the game. Watch the ball movement here from the Orangeville Northmen offense.
Yeah, we talked about the bag of tricks. For Trey Deer, this one's pretty easy. Starts with Matthews. They get a cross pick from Spallina, and then, Matthews is going to kind of get onto his wrong side. At this point, he's pretty much a feeder, and Mimico falls asleep a little bit on the backside, and you can just see Deer on the back pipe. Again, Matty, something I've actually talked about a little bit this season, bounce your quick sticks. You can see in this one, Wickham throwing his stick across. Deer's good job of bouncing the quick stick. Make sure that kind of desperation save never gets there.
Trying to peek over there if we got a change to Owen Power, but I don't believe so.
That one you definitely can't. No. Both of those last two from Deer.
Just a water break.
Yeah.
And that's another discrepancy as we watch this fight for the loose ball, and eventually picked up by Cole Teeple. We saw Deer run through the crease and then clear out and still be able to be part of the play. Another change from NLL rules.
Yeah. Boy, great play there by Finn Thompson to cause the turnover. A little bit of an adventure clearing it, though, for Mimico. Look out.
Still trying to chase it down. Yeah, Dylan Sanderson all alone in front of the crease as the double team comes off the bench. But that was Finn Thompson stuck out there on defense. I think still going to give way now to Cole Begley, yeah. Crease violation as it came through to Cohen Jennings. 8 to go here in the first. Orangeville lead 3-0. Late takedown right back at center, as that was Kyle Kerrigan knocked down, and Mimico will head to their first power play where they are absolutely lethal over the past couple seasons. Waters taking top spot behind the back Steins. In the corner, Thompson wants it back, not going to get it. Dudemain lost control, Moran Weeks. Now Waters, no time before the shot clock expires, but Mimico will go to the power play.
Not sure if Finn realized how open he was there on the 6-on-5. Orangeville got a few too many players higher in the formation. I think they were a bit uncovered at the back. Just a cross-check there in the numbers. That's going to get called most times right in front of the referee.
Especially back at center floor. We wait for Lucas Dudemain to come and pick up the ball and start the possession.
Yeah, Captain Obvious here, but obviously Orangeville's going to shade very heavily to Finn here.
Well, that's going to open up this side for guys like Dudemain and Waters. Oh, Thompson, the bouncer with perfection.
Yeah, not sure I can claim any sort of good call there. Pretty obvious you're going to go to the best player in the league. Kind of a side seal play, so it looks like it's for Dudemain. Waters gets Dudemain's guy and then goes all the way through to Thompson's guy. I think this deflects off the stick. I'm pretty sure that deflects. Hard to tell exactly, and then bounces top cheese. As I've said throughout the summer, Matty, the top cheese bouncer, top right corner, any way you slice it for a righty, one of the prettiest shots in lacrosse. I think he got a bit of a help off the deflection there, but it doesn't matter. They don't ask how, they ask how many.
Big scramble here off the face-off. Taguri got a face high in his face mask. Roussel coming in and being taken out of the pile is Aiden Long, who I think is going to get the only penalty here. And I mean, this was a 3-0 game a blink ago. Mimico scores in the power play. We're talking about how good they are, and they go right back.
Yeah, Aaron Taguri, we mentioned his name a couple times. It's plays like that, a tough loose ball off the faceoff, draws the penalty. And you always hear about you guys, people talking about lacrosse as a game of runs. Well, how often have we seen this? As you said, 3-0 game. Mimico gets a lucky bounce on the power play, a tough faceoff win, and then a drawn penalty, and games can flip just that fast.
Here's Thompson again. Feeds it through a crowd, and Richards. What a save there coming across the crease. I believe that was Isaiah Moran-Weeks. On the run, Shipara back the other way with the trailer. Spallina already with 3 points off the 3 goals. Joey Spallina chased that one down short-handed, but Thompson and company will slow it back as they've still got 1:18 to work with. Dudemain, Thompson, down low into the corner. Dudemain has it again, works off that top spot. Back to the far side, that's Lee. Low shot, Dudemain. Richards with the save. Thompson was looking for a rebound. It rolls out to the far side where Graydon Stokes takes over.
Good play by Stokes there. Tough loose ball play to just run through a check by Thompson. Get the ball going in the right direction. Matty, they say your goaltender's got to be the best penalty killer on your team. Richards has been so far on this possession here. That cross crease save kind of got lost in the action there. Easily his best save of the night. One of the better saves you're going to see.
10 left on Orangeville's shot clock. No sense of urgency here with 30 remaining on their penalty. Matthews. Oh man! I don't think that's the intent by any means, but from long range, he puts it in shorthanded.
They will all look the same at the end of this game on the scoreboard and at the end of this season when Liam Matthews looks back on his goal-scoring season. But he's just lobbing this ball in at the end of the shot clock. I think it takes a bounce right there off the Mimico defender, and I for sure think that Wickham thought his defender was going to catch it. Ends up going right through.
26 seconds left, power play time. Pat coming in to take the face off. He'll do so against Roussel.
Great crowd here, Matty, by the way. I'd say several hundred people, or a couple hundred at least. Really solid crowd here in Tony Rose. Obviously, as usual, but it's always nice to see, especially early in the season, folks coming out to support the OJLL.
The oppressive Tony Rose heat has yet to really take hold of this place. It's still Tony Rose hot. I haven't been in the visitor dressing room either yet, but
I did get a few comments on the visitor dressing room, and no one told me that I was wrong.
Here's Lee, the shot off Richards as we go back to 5-on-5. 4-1 for Orangeville here with 5 left to go in the first. If you're Mimico, you need one here. You need the next one. Screen in front of Moran Weeks to open that shot. Chiapara thought it was too aggressive.
You know,
play goes back the other way.
Even if you don't know a ton about Zach Richards, you know that in order the most recent goalies, or not in order, but in recent history for the Orangeville Northmen, the goalies have been Dylan Ward, Nick Rose, Rylan Hartley, Chris Origlieri, and others. You know he's going to be pretty good. If you're in goal, the starter for the Northmen, you're a definition great goalie. Joins a long line of players. Now you could argue maybe there's some pressure to live up on that note, but he grew up playing with a lot of these guys, has been a part of this Orangeville team, learned from guys like Chris Origlieri. You know, history would suggest that he's going to be just fine.
Ben McIsaac brings it back in, and I asked Nick Rose about that last year. I said, is it something in the water? What is it about Orangeville? And he just kind of winked and said, I can't tell you that. But did mention that, he learned from guys like Brandon Miller, and, he goes all the way back, Chris Sanderson and others even before that. So just a long line of goalies helping goalies, I think, is what it boils down to.
Well, Nick Rose is a big part of it, right? He's the GM of this team. He's been around these guys for a long time. A lot of conversations. I think goalie coaching, Maddie, and teaching is as much about mentality as it is about technique, too. Just being someone who's kind of lived that experience, has been through it, can talk to the goalies, know what goalies are looking for, knows how to communicate with them. It's all kind of part of the experience here.
Anxious moment. There's been a couple of them behind Nate Whittam early on in this game. Another one back to our right moments ago. Here's Mimico late in their shot clock. One goes off a stick and will go for the over and back.
Maddie, I think this is the first game that I've done this year on concrete instead of the turf. And there's definitely, kind of advantages and drawbacks to both. You definitely get a little bit more randomness on the concrete. The ball just bounces a little bit quicker, a little bit less, sure of the footing, and just faster, too. The turf kind of slows things down just ever so slightly.
Quick stick to Deere. He's not going to miss that too many times. But that time, just wide of the mark.
Good example there. Mimico just can't really pick the ball up off the floor. It's a kind of a weird bounce.
Tried the no-look shot. He was looking past the entire way, did Deere. And back-to-back misses for number 91.
Yeah, like you said, though, he's not going to miss those too often. He's been all around it so far, 2 goals. Now he's going to take a penalty.
Yeah, slashed on Begley right at center. Going after Finn Thompson now. Skynes back to Roussel. Bit of a high pass that hits something in front and goes up and out of play, and we'll get the slash call against Trey Deere. Even Mimico in their junior A career had Riley Hutchcraft, who talked about Nick Rose teaching him when he was with the Toronto Rock, and Nick Rose has been around this team to talk to some of their young goaltenders who are now starting to move up. So finish that conversation. It goes, as much as these two teams hate each other, that mentorship continues across the goalie union.
No doubt.
As I said, talked to Cole Teeple's dad. A number of these 03s have played with each other and against each other for many years, which kind of leads to this rivalry as they come up through provincials. I know it was the same for, we always seem to bring up the Mimico Brampton 97 rivalry. Here's Thompson down to the corner. Moran Weeks. Back across Dudomain. Thompson gets a big screen from Lee. Behind the net. Dudomain, quick stick. Thompson just missed.
I think, part of this rivalry, too, is a credit to the organizations from a minor level. If you have a rivalry with the 03s in Mimico, you have a rivalry with everybody from Mimico, right? That's kind of how it works. In Orangeville, very similar. So great fan bases. I think that's part of the reason why such a good crowd tonight. But like you said, with school, all these Syracuse guys joining the Hill Academy, etc., a lot of mutual respect as well.
Thompson shoots straight down the middle and finds a corner on the power play.
This is gross from Finn Thompson. So you're going to see him go with a twister release, Maddie. So that indicates to the goalie that he's going to shoot to the short side, to the left side, and then he uses his wrist to push the ball back into the top right corner. And you can see Richards leaning the wrong way, puts it top right. That's a pretty shot from Finn Thompson, who's got 2 now on the power play. Also hit a pipe at the start of that power play. So if you're, Rusty Kruger going into this period break and the Orangeville staff, it's pretty clear. Don't foul. But when we foul, you got to get on Finn Thompson.
Orangeville 4, Finn Thompson 2, with 1:20 left to go here in the first period.
Yeah, and what? Syracuse 5? Syracuse 5, everybody else 1?
Yep.
Come on, Chaparro.
I feel like you're outnumbered tonight. Here's Thompson. Isaiah Moran Weeks went to High Point. We can throw a few of those in too.
Sure. Shout out Lomi.
Yeah. Oh man, Whittam. That's about 3 or 4 times tonight. That ball has just not behaved in behind him, but escapes without incident yet again.
Well, both Dan Lomas and Asher Nolting have reminded me several times that High Point is the Ivy League of the South. So, a lot of similarities between those two schools. So, yeah, there's lots of room.
Cameron Pack, cross center behind his back, going back down to the crease for Garen Jennings. Normally where we'd see Deere. Of course, that was in transition, but a couple misses and then a bad penalty. You wonder if 91 might be sitting for a bit to end this period. Hidden ball trick. Finn Thompson's got it the entire way.
Watch
shoots.
out, empty net going the other way here. Mimico's got to get their guys back in.
Richards not aware and not going to get the benefit of a quick restart either. And Whittam does make it back between the pipes. No timeout for either team taken here. It's Pack. Swim moves past everybody and right at the horn. I don't know that he realized how much time was left. As looked like he was going to rumble it all the way in, but again, a fast period, and I would say that is very typical of this rivalry where a couple power play goals for Mimico and Finn Thompson, and not a big run for Orangeville, but they're still up by 2.
Yeah, I think, a couple good bounces there. Obviously, that last goal, a break for the black and gray. If you're Mimico on the road, you'll feel okay about the score, even if you don't love your effort there in the first 20 minutes. Should be a good one here throughout the next 2 periods.
It should be. Second period is up next. You're watching the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week from Orangeville, and it's fueled by Gatorade.
It's a way of preserving our history, tell the story, of the men and women that built the organization, the teams and the people that came after that to keep the tradition going.
It just felt like you were part of something bigger than yourself.
He's been there since '78 to see what it is now. Man.
Just the right place at the right time with the right people, and it created this aura around it, this culture.
It's Mento or bust. It makes me want to go out and play for another one. Teams want to try to embarrass us, we'd kick the shit out of them.
It's impressive how many guys that have played in Orangeville are playing in the NLL, that are coaches, executives. There's a reason.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario Lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Teams are back on the floor, getting set for period number 2 here from Tony Rose Arena in Orangeville. It's the Northmen leading the Mimico Mountaineers by a score of 4-2 off 21 shots for Orangeville to 17 in what was a fast-paced first period, Jonathan.
Yeah, if you're Mimico, you got to figure out how are you going to score other than the power play. You got to get more looks, 5-on-5, try to create offense, and in doing that, how do we get Finn Thompson good looks? He's obviously the one that's been having the most success shooting the ball with those 2 goals. Other guys are going to settle in here, but that's going to be the focus then for Orangeville. You can't foul. I think the more it gets up-tempo, it's better for the Northmen. I think you're fine if it's a bit of a track meet, especially in that second period. You know, Orangeville's bench is really far down, right? It's something we've kind of seen over the years. Look for their lefties especially. You know, to be honest, it's not a great bench for the righties. The lefties are really going to have a great path to getting a breakaways here off in the second period. Look for the North, and then obviously a far change going the other way. Look for the Northmen to really be aggressive in transition here.
Trade here already on hat-trick watch. Joey Spallina, 3 points off the 4 goals. Both of them on the Mimico side of things came from Finn Thompson. So when you're looking to the lefties, Trey Deer, Liam Matthews would be the 2 picks for the Northmen. And as you said, Jonathan, historically, this has been the runaway period for the Orangeville Northmen.
Yeah, and expect it to be Matthews and Deer every time, right? It's a short change for the lefties in this barn, so you can kind of save some energy, save some running. Expect it to be the guys they want with the ball every single time.
Cam Sanderson firing a little bit off balance, down floor, back the other way. Isaiah Moran Weeks ran through the crease and then tried to go right through the end boards. Goodness.
One of many players to try to go through the end boards. None have been successful just yet.
No.
We'll see. Stay tuned. Not a lot of folks go on their own, of their own good, of their own free will. A lot of get sent to that. But the result is the same.
This is Deer from off center, trying to stop the over and back and can't. Nick Rose surprised us with the Joey Spallina signing last year. Until he gets Kool-Aid Man, I think those boards are definitely going to be undefeated. Here's Dudemain out of the corner. He had just 1 assist, putting him up to 10 on the season. This is 3rd game. Moran Weeks. It was Justin Lee with a pair off the 2 power play markers for Thompson. Here's Lee right now. Goes up top as he tried to come back to Dudemain. Aiden Long knocked it down. Dudemain turns and gives him a good 2-hander right at center. And they do go up to the first man out the gate, Liam Matthews. Matthews follows the trail, cuts back, shoots, and Whittam the save. Pushed towards the net by Owen Ron. And I'm not sure that he stepped in the crease or maybe someone else, but they call it a crease violation unless the ball didn't come out of the crease initially. A couple ways that call can go. Here's Angus McDonnell, 189th pick of the Dallas Stars of the NHL, making his Mimico debut tonight.
Is the NHL a good league?
I've heard they're okay. Last OJLL player since Brandon Montour. You may have heard of him to be drafted into the National Hockey League.
Is he good at hockey?
He's okay. You can ask around Six Nations, they'll let you know. Went for a ring last year, probably going for another this season. I think that means he's okay. Trey Deer on his wrong side still was trying to find a way to get that shot through.
Interesting on that, Matty. They're running 2 lefties off the gate here. So what that allows you is if the first guy's not open, it allows you to set a pick for the second guy. It actually bit them a little bit there because they had 3 lefties on the fast break.
This is Aiden McDonnell, and then a big tie-up in front of the crease. Zach Poirier, the trade acquisition from St. Catharines. That has worked out well, considering Jamison Bucktooth yet to play for the A's down in St. Kitts. Poirier is going to go off for the cross check.
Just to show this fast break here. I think this was one of the Spolina shots, but just something to watch there on the fast break. 2 lefties going to be coming off that gate here. If it's not the first guy, they can set a pick, try to hit the second guy.
Here's Thompson up top. Finn Thompson, perfect 2 for 2 so far on the power play. Has both goals for Mimico. Off center right now. Braden Stokes using his long reach to make sure there was no other shot. Out of the crease, Richards puts a body into his man, Dudemain. Ball still up for grabs. All of this on Mimico's clock. Dudemain comes out with it, turns and fires. And Richards had to come up with a big save. That may have hit Chiapara on the way through.
Yeah, they ran a play there for Thompson to come to his offside, something that they've been doing for a few years. The best I've ever seen of that play was Thomas McConvey. He had an ability to come to his wrong side and really hammer it, with kind of a twister all the way back, to the lefty short side. Is really impressive. Thompson's got a lot of those same qualities, maybe some different shots that he'll throw, but also a guy that can score from his offside.
Here's Thompson up top, shoots right down the pipe, and Richards a save. Thomas McConvey, the last non-Finn Thompson player to win the scoring title. That was done in the OJLL bubble season of 2021. By the way, all of those games still available on the YouTube channel. Dudemain, Lee. Roussel, no shot, and Dudemain takes it and scores.
I want the viewers here to watch the goaltender, Richards. We talked about this with the Brampton game a few weeks ago. Everything in Dudemain's body language and his stick suggests that it's going far side. So look, he's going to stick it. When he gets the ball back here, he's going to throw his stick out, far. Look like he's going to the far side. I think you're going to see Richards lean just a little bit, and then he just pulls it back to the near side corner. If you can hit that shot, it's got to be open most times because the goalies are always preparing to step to the far side. There has to be room there on the bottom side.
So as a shooter, are you setting the goalie up to do that, or are you looking for the opening?
I think you're setting him up. And it's just something you rep. I don't think any of the good shooters will look at the goal and decide. I think they have, 3 or 4 ideas of what they want to do with it, and they just let it fly. I think if you're looking and trying to make decisions in that quick of time, maybe some guys can do it. I think it's too quick. I think that's going to get you in trouble. I think that's just a bread and butter shot for Dudemain, or he's closing his eyes and letting it fly.
Down floor, bit of a wide shot there from Poirier. As Kerrigan comes back. Poirier got all the way back to take that bounce pass, and now cross center. This is Jake Spolina.
Hidden play there by Cole Teeple, something you're not going to see in the box score. Good fast break opportunity for Mimico. He just stays home, eats that shot, takes it in the chest, going the other way. It won't count as a stat, but those are the plays that win games.
Justin Lee, by the way, credited with his 3rd assist. This is Joey Spolina cutting through, and I think that's a no-goal call. The arms were a bit high. Back the other way, Tavares looking for Moran Weeks. And remember, here in the OJLL, you can't dive through the crease, and I think the feet must have caught that plane in the eyes of Kyle Coulter. Moran Weeks to the outside, will drag it back, comes to the crease himself, shoots, and Richards there to make the save.
Great play there by McDonnell. Seals his own man, pushes his own man up, allows Moran Weeks to have a lot of room underneath. Kyle Waters was really good at that, sealing his own guy. It meant that if you could get underneath, you had lots of room.
There was the 2-man look off the bench, and look out here, Dylan Sanderson comes off yelling in pain. He can barely get to the bench. It's either an arm or shoulder for the rookie of the week, Mark Waters. Dudemain back to Waters. He'll bring it down and survey his options. Halfway through the shot clock, takes it himself, and we got a tie game. We'll look at the injury first here.
Yeah, it tries to hit the cutter. Just ends up getting crunched at the end of it. That looks painful, obviously. And then here's the goal. And Maddie, this is something great shooters do and great players do. So Dudemain got the last one. Waters gets this one. This is going to look like the same release, and then he goes top left with it, right? The last one's bottom right, hammers it. Maybe Richards cheating a little bit just that way, and then he puts it top left. That's a great shot, and that's good. That's communication on the bench. You know, Tanner Thompson, their offensive coach, was a great player, is a great player himself. You know, a fun guy to talk lacrosse with. You know, that's just a kind of good communication all throughout. Gets you a goal.
Dudemain now with 3 points as the goalies take a chance to go get water. Nate Whittam getting the hurry up from the official. As Owen Ron will go to the face-off dot. Him and Roussel chasing it down. Moran Weeks. Back here for Thompson, the little skipper in for Richards. And Thompson nearly picked it up. Roussel's out there still with the face-off twig.
Thompson, sorry, Matty, has tried those skippers a few times. He's, I think, hit some pipes. He's had some good success with it. You get a really quick bounce here on the concrete.
All knotted at fours. Big stutter step there from Pack as they came across center. Him and Justin Tavares. Up for Joey Spallina. Into the crease, and Trey Deere looking low on Whittam, who gets up, and he got an eye for transition down floor. I think that's Tavares.
Good play by Chaparro there, getting back in it. Yeah, just a hustle play. Comes right off the bench. Pretty good idea by Wickham. Not a bad pass either. Chaparro just hustles, snuffs that one out.
Teeple to the corner for Spallina. Matthews left it there for Deere. Finds Spallina again. The shot just went wide. Teeple still in the crease, and Matthews had to wait, but couldn't wait too long. The shot clock there expires. Ethan Brown starting transition. Dudemain, Thompson as the offense gets set. Moran Weeks. Dudemain coming to set the high screen. Back for Thompson. Low shot. And Richards lost it, and it's in.
Hard to tell exactly from our angle, Matty. I think this is going to be another skipper here for Thompson. Good two-man action on this side by Dudemain and Moran Weeks. I think Thompson bounces this one again. Hard to exactly tell from there. And then Richards thinks he has it, opens up to see where it is, and deflects into the net. That's just a bad bounce, Matty. I don't think there's anything you can really do about that. You know, maybe Richards can just kind of hold on, hope for a whistle, but you're not always sure. And if you don't have it, you got to get back in the net. So I don't think there's a whole lot you can do about that. Just a bad bounce. We've seen Mimico be the victim of bad bounces. Now one goes the other way.
Roussel moved early, so it gives the ball here to the Northmen. As you said, we've had, you know, you can call it a weak one either way, I guess. Cam Sanderson there. Faked the shot pass to the far side. Got blown up after the fact.
I think he got caught halfway between each.
Matthews. Spallina pops out of the pile. Shoots. Whittam the save. And Deere right on the doorstep looking for a rebound. That never developed. It's down floor for Taguri. Aaron Taguri trailing the play was McDonnell. That's Aiden McDonnell. Both him and Angus playing tonight. A bounce shot this time goes up and hits the screening that protects the lights here in the roof of Tony Rose. Tavares, quick stick to the far side. Saw Tavares score some big playoff goals last year as an AP. With this Mimico team, played all of his minor up. He is the son of John Tavares. On the doorstep, Moran Weeks, rebound goal.
Right place at the right time for Moran Weeks here. Sets a good pick. They're getting the angles on these picks pretty good here. So sets a good pick. Now Orangeville's got to make a decision to take the shooter or the cutter. Richards makes a good save, and Moran Weeks does a good job, Matty, as you pointed out well throughout this summer. In the summertime, OJLL, you have to wait for the ball to get outside the cylinder of the crease. You know, you can't reach in there. Does a good job waiting for it, and then gets an easy one. And again, game of runs. This game was 3-0 at one point. Now 6-4 for Mimico. If you're Orangeville, what can you do to get one and stop this run?
Here's Thompson again. You can just feel that The heavy hitters, Thompson, Dudeman, and others on this Mimico team are starting to feel it right now.
I think one thing that is they got to find Finn Thompson off these faceoffs. I think they're giving him some free looks, letting him get involved, in this game more than he was in the first period. Obviously, you'd rather win the faceoff, but if you're going to lose, you have to try to find ways of letting the other guys shoot, not letting Thompson get these free looks on cage, because it just kind of feels like he's kind of finding the rhythm here, and also the more shots he takes, the more he can kind of fool the goalie with what did I do last time.
Here's a power play. Perfect 3 for 3 so far, our Mimico. Illegal cross-check on Chiapara, and a penalty's going to come here against Roussel for the trip, and I think the fans called that one long before the official did.
Yeah, nice play there by Donnie Scott for Orangeville. Picks it off, again, was on his way to a Happy Meal and was sadly interrupted, but picks it off in the crease, makes a good hustle play to clear it, draws the penalty, and the best way to kill a penalty is to not be killing the penalty anymore. It draws the penalty, by Mimico, and now they're playing 4-on-4. Good opportunity here for Orangeville to maybe get one and stop this run.
Definitely a lot of room for their offense to work, and they do so right onto the crease and right on cue. Owen Ron.
This starts with Ron and it ends with Ron. It starts, you're going to see him, come up on an up pick right here, sets the up pick, probably gets away with a little bit of a push, 2 passes, good look inside, touch pass by Sablina, and then a fake far side twister short side by Ron. That's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Well, after they were calling every screen to start this game, there were a couple that could have gone against Mimico on their last goal, and that one there that could have gone the other way. So officials letting them play as we get tight here.
I think maybe the difference on that one is he kind of set it with his back a little bit, didn't extend his arms. I think that's something you see a lot on the moving screen calls when you extend your arms on a cross check. That was more of kind of a back pick. Maybe that was part of the justification there. But those are some of the toughest plays in the game for the referees.
Thompson here into the corner, Dudeman. Isaiah Moran-Weeks setting the screen. Moran-Weeks falls, it turns into a double team, back to the crease, and into the crease was Mimico. And that goal ended what was a 4-goal run in 4 minutes and 47 seconds.
Yeah, good save there by Richards, even though it probably wouldn't have counted in the crease anyways. He'll take the confidence boost from the nice save.
As we said, 4 goals through the first period for Orangeville. They just kind of seemed to chip away.
Yep.
Whereas that run for Mimico was kind of everything all together all at once. Matthews runs into his own man, falls, took a shot while he was down, then the official slips on the oil slick, back the other way. Off the bench, McIsaac finds Lee, the shot saved. And they're not going to stop it to take care of that.
What a save.
Down. That is a save from Whittam, having to deal with the ball, the defender, and Trey Deer all at once. Ethan Brown the other way.
Mimico's going to be killing a penalty here for 18 seconds, exactly matched up with the shot clock. So they need to make sure they get as close to all of this as they can, make sure that nothing's going back the other way and they don't ever have to actually be shorthanded.
McDonnell. Angus McDonnell, that is, drawing the double team, turns and fires. That got through the wickets. I don't know what it is about that crease tonight, but there is something funky going on.
Yeah, if you're Richards, those are the ones that give you the willies a little bit, right? You just had the one that you thought you had. He goes to the net, almost had it there. Maybe an early season sign, just a little bit, uncomfortable in there, but he's actually played really well.
On the run, Spalina went low on Whittam, and as we said, remember this was Linden Hills got a lot of the time, so big game for Richards. Oh, big collision through the middle. Cam Sanderson went down hard. Here's a screen to open Matthews. His shot saved from Whittam. Kerrigan across center. We are 5-on-5 in a 1-goal game. Mimico Mountaineers leading on the heels of that 4-goal streak.
You got Spallina stuck on defense here.
Moran Weeks goes over the top, down into the corner. Looks like Teeple out there as well. Judamain will shoot around the screen.
Good save there by Richards to settle in. Sorry, Matty.
Nope, you're good. Teeple. And first game of the season back for what is a graduating senior. We're counting only 6 on this Orangeville roster. That's pretty rare. Of course, trade deadline yet to come. Trey Deer, long shot. Whittam will make the save. Quite the different story for Mimico as they come out looking for McDonnell. The shot saved by Richards as he was all alone. And McDonnell ran through the crease and then put the body on Chiapar and then a couple sticks as well.
Good play there by Whittam. Now, he had that one get intercepted just a few minutes ago. Doesn't show any kind of nerves there, letting that one fly again. A good save by Richards here. I think both goalies have played pretty well here. And this game is really starting to get some real pace going to it, as Mimico looks to run again here.
This game's had good pace.
Yeah, I guess it continues to have good pace. Yeah.
Starting to get a little spicy though, is got a tie up down in the crease. Cohen Jennings and Tavares. And they're going to call interference on Tavares to give the ball here to Orangeville.
Yeah, Tavares, a talented guy heading to the University of Denver. I understand a very good hockey player as well. May have had some options there. Played at his high school lacrosse and hockey at Deerfield Academy, where I actually went there as well for my PG year there. So as much as the viewers are sick of me talking about places I went to school, we'll add one more into that list and heading to Denver, I believe, next year.
That was Dylan Sanderson back out there. Remember, we saw him go off hurt earlier, so looks to be mended, at least enough to continue in this game. Chiguri to Waters off the bench. Under 6 to play here in the second. Thompson. He'll come cross floor. Waters down in the corner. Moran Weeks finds Thompson cutting through. Took 2 defenders with him. Now to find the open man. It's Waters and scores.
This is all about patience here from Finn Thompson. He's going to catch the ball going through the middle right here. Most guys would shoot this. He kind of looks, doesn't like what he sees, already has 2 guys on him, and then Waters just kind of backs up a little bit, stays in the open space, and goes for that far side shot again now. I see them hit that twice in a row to the far side pipe. You know, Finn just is so kind of poised in there. I think that's the thing that you notice about him and Willem Firth. Probably the 2 best players in lacrosse this year. That's not always the case. Some other great players are great because they're so aggressive and they can really force it a lot and that kind of thing. Those guys really do a good job of letting it come to them, which is crazy because their point totals are so high. That's a good example, just being kind of patient, letting the game come to you. And then I had an old, a coach of mine that said, let the defense tell you the story. He lets the defense tell him a story there and takes the pass to Waters.
You could even see the second where he did peek and realize there were 2 defenders on him and then try and find who it was that was open, and it was Waters. Here's Matthews back the other way, late in the Orangeville clock. He decides to one-step hop, field shoot that, and frustrating night for Liam Matthews, though he does have 3 points, including that short-handed goal from way outside from the Jazz Fest on Broadway, I think.
The other thing, Matty, I think if you could give Finn the choice between scoring and assisting, he wants to feed it. I think that's another thing that a lot of the great players have. I was lucky to play with Jeff Teed. He definitely has that where he'd rather, set guys up as Orangeville's going the other way here.
Led by Deer. Trailer in behind is Nate Ruff, who was a finalist for Transition Player of the Year last year.
Boy, Deer plays a lot of minutes, Matty. He's always out there.
Kerrigan took the pass from McIsaac. Campanini, one of 2 Americans on this Mimico roster this year. Isaiah Moran Weeks will bring it down. Pass to Waters on the far side. That one's off his stick. Not sure where it is. Back up over center. Over and back waved off as Aiden Long got there in time. And now Waters a long way from home. Shot clock inadvertently reset. And they'll take it away, but Waters can be stuck out on D.
Yeah, good pickup by the officials there, and good call by you, man. You got Waters about to play the ball here, it looks like. Yeah, playing the ball right now. Old guy's stuck on D.
Screen set on him. That's Jennings. And now intercepted, and this is where you want the O guy on the floor. Waters going to rip from way outside, top of the fan nearly.
They actually had Moran Weeks going there too, so 2 O guys heading that way for Mimico.
Zach Poirier will slow down. One of those top picks that St. Catharines had that monster draft 2 drafts ago. And as we said, coming over in an off-season trade. Here's Spalina, back up to Sanderson. Cutting through, Garen Jennings, did just beat the shot clock. He goes off the goaltender, and Rusty Kruger, good hands, makes the catch on the bench.
You know, that last possession by Waters, Matty, a good example of a trick that I've done one too many times as an O guy. You play offense, you go back on defense, you're exhausted, you find some energy for one more break, and then you're exhausted again.
One more break for Tavares, big head fake. Richards not fooled. And Tavares is arguing there. Not really sure what he had to complain about on that breakaway, except for the fact that Richards met him stride for stride. Spalina to Deere. Spalina will set the screen before heading off across for Dylan Sanderson. Shoots past the defender, that hits Whittam, and down. Finn Thompson will pick up. Captain lowers his shoulder around the first defender, bounces it to the front door. Moran Weeks was out and involved with Chiapara, and Moran Weeks again meets those end boards.
Moran Weeks, I love his game. He's just always doing something productive for Mimico. He's always doing something good.
That is not good for Lucas Dudemain or Jaden Chiapara, who's down, and Noah Pack came rushing in, as did a couple other players. Chiapara's up, which is the best news of all, but Mimico's going back to what could be a lengthy power play here.
Yeah, question is 2 or 5 minutes here, for the power play.
Officials are going to talk, and I mean, for me, that's direct contact, which
I think it's probably likely it's a 5.
Here's that most recent breakaway for Justin Tavares.
See Richards playing pretty far back in his crease, gives up a little bit more on the shots on the breakaways, but doesn't allow guys to kind of get by you. Just 2 minutes here on the clock, though.
Which I think is a break for Mimico. 5-minute majors are rare in this league, I will say, but if we were going to get one, I thought that was the case. Here's Matthews and Deere. Spalina rolls to the top, goes back to Deere. Tried to finesse that underhand, did get it off Whittam, so we'll get the 3rd straight reset here for the Northmen. Matthews behind the back. Setting it there for Jennings. Floater back in again. That one finds the hands of Mimico's penalty killers. It's Justin Lee.
Oh, man, I thought Lee might have been in there.
Yeah, I was looking for him to cut that last turn as well, but he saw Finn Thompson and gives him the ball, which, I mean, is never a bad idea.
Lee feels like a guy who's going to be really important this year for Mimico. Obviously, Finn's going to score. Dudemain seems like he's due for a huge year. You're going to have other guys step up, and the obvious thing that jumps out about Lee, he's much taller than most of the O guys you see in this league. You're not going to see too many 6'3", 6'2", whatever he is, playing on the offensive side of the ball. He's going to be big. I think he's been good tonight. He's been good throughout his career. He's a very good player, but he's going to be very important, I think, this year for Mimico.
Here's Matthews rushing in. The danger if you're a coach is, big body offensive guy, you're going to be the picker, and that's it.
Well, you're definitely going to be the picker if you're playing with Finn, right? You want the ball in that guy's stick, more often than not, but you're going to have opportunities on the power play. As the year goes on, teams will get more aggressive with their power play coverages, their penalty kill coverages, I guess I should say, in terms of just like shutting Finn off, forcing other guys to beat them.
You got whistles behind the play. Aaron Taguri upset as Whittam long bombed this down floor. It was out of the reach of Jordan Vincent.
Not sure what the conversation is about here.
Who does go to Syracuse, the only BC rostered player on this Mimico lineup.
Looks like we're going to get a face-off here.
Yeah, I don't think Rusty Kruger likes the explanation either. Nobody really happy with whatever this call is. 13.9 left. I wonder if someone was trying to call timeout.
I think that's exactly what it was, Matty. I think that's the frustration by Rusty here. Looks like Finn's going to take the face-off here.
He took the last one too. I don't think it went well, but he was down there and was directing the play. So 13.9, everybody's got a full set of timeouts. So basically, who can control this possession between him or Ron, who does take more timeouts, or excuse me, face-offs.
There you go.
Normally, then Finn does, although he gets the possession. And they do not call for the timeout. Penalty has expired, and as it does, that's where the call is made by Dean George.
I think that's a good call because they have it so deep in the offensive zone here. They can draw up something good. It's not going to be like you have to waste the first 3 seconds getting it down the floor. They can throw one pass here and be in a good situation. I think the question here is you figure that Finn is going to be locked off for Mimico. So do you just have him start with the ball and try to set picks for him? That's kind of one way to approach it. Do you try to have him be a decoy? Tanner Thompson, the offensive coordinator here, has got some options.
I remember the game we did last year, and I don't remember who it was, but it was basically the same thing. One guy that we had picked was going to get the ball, was going to start with it, and the first move from Orangeville was to blow up that guy, double team, and make sure that there was no shot, and absolutely shut down the play. So I think on the other side of things, if you're Phil Sanderson, you're probably making that same call, especially if it is Finley Thompson.
Yeah, I think the advantages are twofold. Matty, obviously you take away the best player. You also just waste a couple seconds of confusion. But like I thought, they're going to put Finn right on the ball here.
And immediately set up Waters for the screen. Ball got away. Still bouncing in front of Chaparro, who got run over. And the second time late this period is not going to sit well with the Northmen.
Don't think we're going to have any penalties come out of this. This is a good play design here by Mimico. Finn starts on the ball, and when you start with the ball, the guy defending you has to give you some space by a rule. So that's a good way of creating some separation. They get a good pick. I think they were looking to kick it behind the net and then to somebody else. A good stick by Orangeville to knock it down. Feels like we're in store for a pretty fun third period here. Against two teams that don't seem like they like each other very much.
Mountaineers have flipped the script after the first. They lead 7-5. Third period comes your way next. It's the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week.
It's a way of preserving our history, tell the story, of the men and women that built the organization, the teams and the people that came after that to keep the tradition going.
It just felt like you were part of something bigger than yourself.
He's been there since '78 to see what it is now. Man.
Just the right place at the right time with the right people, and it created this aura around it, this culture.
It's Minto or bust. It makes me want to go out and play for another one. Teams want to try to embarrass us. We'd kick the shit out of them.
It's impressive how many guys that have played in Orangeville are playing in the NLL, that are coaches, executives. There's a reason.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat. Carbs to help fuel your working muscles. And fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Hydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Teams getting set for the third period, 7-5 for the Mimico Mountaineers after that second where they ran off a 5-1 lead in the period. The big run coming in the early portion with 4 goals in 4 minutes and 47 seconds. Already a hat trick for Finn Thompson, 4 points for Justin Lee, 4 for Lucas Dudemain. Same story for Joey Spallina. Liam Matthews with 3 and a pair of goals for Trey Deer. No penalties on the board coming out of that third period, although we have switched sides. Orangeville going back left to right.
Yeah, a bit of a drought here for Orangeville. Obviously that early 3-0 lead. I think they had 4 after the first period, Matty. So it's been a bit of a slog offensively. I think Mimico doing a good job of really packing the inside of the defense, forcing the outside shots, and Whittam has obviously been pretty stout in there.
Still showing 40 shots through 2 periods. Scoring once off 19 in that period. Mimico, however, scoring 5 times off 21. Set up with Moran Weeks in the corner. Nobody up top. Now Thompson goes there to Dudemain on the crease.
You know, nothing against their other players, Matty, but that time you had Thompson, Lee, and then Waters, Dudemain, and Moran Weeks. That's going to be 5 of the best. That's going to be arguably the best 5 guys on an offensive set. And the money possessions, I think that's who you're going to see. Guys like Steins still learning the box game. I would expect to see that group of 5 out a lot. All guys who are talented, old, have college experience, and you know, that's really what wins games at this level.
I don't know, on paper I like me some of this Orangeville lineup too. Mimico's going to go to the box again. Taken down was Cam Sanderson, and Mimico defenders have been all over him tonight. A cross check looks like is going to be called here against Kyle Kerrigan.
Good opportunity for this Orangeville power play to go back to work here. You're going to see the penalty, just a chop, and then Kerrigan I think gets it for the second one, but I think that's Begley could have probably gotten one there too. You see Trey Deer at the top of this power play running the show.
Looking to Liam Matthews first. Back for Spallina. Matthews directs traffic. Clean intercept though. It's right into the stick. I think that's McDonnell. No, Justin Lee back playing a penalty kill role. Matthews. Spallina comes out to join the other 4 who are already out there. 15 in the shot clock. It comes through, they score. If that's Deer in the middle, that's his hat trick.
It was indeed, Matty, and he barely touches this thing on the quick stick. So he's going to set a little bit of a kind of fake pick here. It's going to end up working its way through to Sanderson. And then Deer's just the guy in the middle, and watch how quickly it's in and out of his stick. Barely touches that, pushes it to the bottom right corner. That's pretty sweet there for Deer for his third of the game.
5 points now for Joey Spallina. Pair of assists for Cam Sanderson. That's just too pretty in front.
No doubt.
Those quick sticks normally come from the side of the crease where they go sort of east-west. To find a guy standing right on the doorstep to finish that way just tells you the hands that Trey Deer's got. On the run, Matthews. Save made by Whittam. They're going to argue over this rebound. That was Dylan and Cam Sanderson going after it.
Yeah, Matty, it's not actually the way you'd really want to teach guys how to do the quick stick. Oftentimes when guys mess up quick sticks, it's because they don't let the ball come in enough and they kind of swat at it. That's where most guys run into trouble. I think Deer, the combination of the touch and the strength to be able to get something on that when he flicks it like that, and then it obviously goes to a good place.
Nearly problems here with a crease dive from Henry Companetti.
As you mentioned, Companetti, one of the American players, learning a tried and true rule about Ontario Junior Lacrosse. You end up in the crease, you're probably not going to have a lot of fun in there. That's also where goals come from in that area, so it's the classic give and take.
I think to his credit, still realized, as we saw in the replay there, the way that he didn't fully take off and extend was kind of fumbling with his feet, that it was going to be, or tried to stay out of the crease, excuse me. Let's get a look to the pack house here at Tony Rose. Deer, had trouble with himself up top. Goes right back to the doorstep again. And kids, don't forget to bounce your quick sticks.
Yeah, good read though by Whittam. He was already over by the time the pass got there. I think he saw that one coming. What a play there by Kerrigan.
And draws the penalty. Back down for Brown. And I mean, we got players all over the place, but what a play this was back at center for Kerrigan.
Going to get knocked down to the ground here. Going to have a great shot of this. Credit to our crew. Kerrigan gets knocked down. Penalty is right there. And then watch this little behind the back pass. Wow, blind behind the back pass. And they get a good look out of it. Pretty good defense there by Chaparro on the back of it to kind of close it out, but still Mimico's on the power play. If you're Orangeville, it's got to be the message, anybody but Finn Thompson.
They call Deer for holding. And this lethal power play goes back to work. Thompson can take it straight. And that hit Richards on cue, and he's going to take a second.
You know, I think, like I was mentioning, Finn seems to, when I watched him play over the years, wants to feed, as a lot of the great players do. It seems like in this game, he really senses that the power play is his time to really shoot the ball and really be aggressive, looking for his own shot. Here he goes to that bouncer again. He's gotten Richards on that a few times, and some very good players, they kind of get by on one or two kind of bread and butter shots. Finn's got as deep of a bag. No two shots seem like they really ever look the same. And I think for Richards, that makes it a really hard challenge of knowing what's coming next, because you've seen, at this point, you've seen 12 to 15 shots from Finn. You've seen like 6 or 7 different releases, different endpoints. So hard to figure out exactly what's coming next.
Brother Tanner was pretty good at making those decisions too.
Yeah, and he's on the bench, so talking his way through it.
Here's Sanderson. That's Dylan on the far side with lots of room. Remember, this is still a penalty kill here for the Northmen. As they come up top, that one's going to skip through in on Whittam, who made the save. Vincent, first touch for the Mountaineers power play.
Strong right here. They haven't been strong right all night, but when with strong right, Finn can play the top.
It's going to work off it, though, around the screen of Lee. Now goes back, low shot, Dudemain. And Richards there for the save. 3 power play goals through 4 opportunities on the night for Mimico.
Orangeville can do what they can to take this all the way down, ensure that it's only kind of a half possession that they get at the end.
As you were saying that, though, Cohen Jennings rumbled his way through, took 2 defenders with him. Spalina back with it. And Matthews rips a shot. That hit a defender in front. Bounces down right in front of Vincent. And he's going to take off with it. That shot rolls out into the corner. Spalina postures up. Chaparra out there as well. He gets a screen. And we'll bring it towards center. Now they can take the entire trade year penalty down.
Another really good play there by Chaparra in the corner, winning that loose ball, getting it up and out of harm's way very quickly there. Another small play in the corner.
Number of things that Chaparra does that don't show up in the box score. Seeing him in person is definitely impressive. From the outside here, Whittam sees that through a crowd, makes the play, and Sanderson tried to block the attempt. The Mountaineers wanted a penalty. Meanwhile, back the other way. Good save by Richards, throwing the left arm out. Deer all the way down floor. Probably the last guy you want to leave unattended. He'll flip it back to Pack. Ron joining the offense. Here's Trey Deer. Not a lot of the usual suspects out there, so Deer takes the shot. It's in the legs of Whittam, still bouncing around. As Deer put a 2-hander into Taguri, who responded in kind. Thompson back and forth passing on the 2-on-1. That skipped away. Mimico back with it, and again, Deer's behind everybody. Not going to matter as Dudemain scores.
Yeah, Orangeville just not doing a good enough job there getting back, and we saw Dudemain go to the bottom right corner as Pack actually did a nice job on that possession, getting some open looks for Deer, and then we're going to see this come down, and Mimico has a few chances at this. They get the 2-on-1. I think Orangeville dodges a bullet here because there's a trailer that you don't see that was open, and then Dudemain ends up finishing later on in the possession. You're going to see it right here. He went bottom right last time, goes bottom left this time.
Fifth assist for Lee, 5th point for Dudemain. 8-6 lead, the largest of the night for Mimico.
You know, Matty, to back to Chaparra for a second here as Orangeville gets a good look.
And Garen Jennings will get the stoppage. Go ahead.
You know, he's the captain for the Northmen. He looks a lot like a lot of the other captains for the Northmen. He looks a lot like Zach Deacon. Looks like Jason Noble, who wasn't the captain because his twin brother was the captain. But there's, smaller, undersized defenders on this team over the years who get by on those little plays that don't appear in the box score. You know, it's almost the norm here. That's why Orangeville is successful over the years. There's a lot of guys like that. You know, he really is similar to Deacon in a lot of those ways. A guy who was, just a ridiculously good junior player and obviously a very good NLL player as well.
Here's Deer late in the shot clock. Pressure comes from McDonnell to take him all the way outside. Deer got the shot and the reset. Wanted to return pass. Williams and Tavares are sparring as they now go their separate ways. And that's the one thing you will say for Orangeville Northmen team. You always know every year what you're going to get. Other teams kind of come and go with the ebb and flow. As this shot comes, we're going to get a late penalty, or an early penalty, a slash coming through. But especially when you come to Tony Rose Arena, you better have your work pants on, because this is what you're going to get from the Orangeville Northmen, and it's been that way for as long as Bumpy Road is going to tell you. Aaron Taguri going off for the slash. There are a lot of individual battles that are starting to heat up down in the trenches here in this game.
No doubt.
Final 12 minutes are going to be pretty hot for these two officials. And in a tight game, Both of these teams want to stay out of the box.
Watch Deere is on the crease here. Watch for him to get involved in some way here.
Yeah, he'll sneak up, fakes the up pick like he did on the last possession and go back to the crease. Sanderson was trying to find him for the quick stick on the doorstep again. Lee switches hands and one-hands it to Aiden McDonnell.
Yeah, good job at Mimico there, just staying really tight. It made it hard to kind of throw that touch pass into Deere. Good double team off the bench there by the Northmen.
I think they saw what you did with Deere not up top, as it's normally been him, Matthews, and Spallina. And it's a good giveaway that something's up when a guy's out of position that much.
Yeah, it's a good thing for fans to look for, Matty, is when guys are in somewhere you don't expect them to be. Well, usually they finish back in their sweet spots, or they're running some sort of a crazy set play. Not a crazy set play, but a set play.
Well, look out here. Ball bouncing around, it's over in the corner. Tavares has it back.
Tavares is a guy that plays a lot of minutes too, playing a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different parts of this game. In my experience watching him, usually he's been out the front door as an offensive player. So he's playing defense, transition. He's been getting involved physically in this game.
Double team's going to chase this ball to the outside in the hands of Waters. Late in the shot clock as it now does expire.
It's a good example of what size and age do there. He was able to just kind of hold his defender off, hold the ball in one stick. That's a guy that's been in a college strength and conditioning program for multiple years, has been, through this junior reg grind. Obviously, that wasn't the most impactful play there, but just a kind of a good example of how the athleticism and age especially is really important at this level.
Here comes Taguri, fresh out of the box, went straight at Sanderson. Cross-floor pass, Matthews to Spallina. Big collision in front of the ball carrier. Now Williams kind of got it through Sanderson and Cohen Jennings there.
You had the one power play goal by Orangeville, but other than that, if you're Mimico, you got to feel really good about your defense in this period. Just obviously the one power play goal, not a lot of great looks. And just a lot of outside shots, which is exactly what Mimico is going to want. And again, Mimico is one of the best teams in the league. They're the favorite in this game. So we were talking about, Orangeville, the success they've had over the years. This is a really good Mimico team that relies on a lot of the same strengths that we were talking about with Orangeville.
Not sure that many people would disagree with you, but still, a double take, perhaps, as you say it, with Orangeville with a 2-1 record coming off an undefeated regular season. Here's Trey Deere. Is that his stick or Taguri's? Either way, it goes flying in behind the net, and then Whittam there to take it away. That's the second time that there's been contact made on an outlet pass, and the bench starting to get upset by it.
Taguri and Deere have been a fun battle all night long. They seem like they're talking to each other after every shift here.
Sign me up for 7 games of that.
Yeah, two guys who just play the game the right way.
Here's Thompson leading a cutter. It's Moran Weeks, and the ball somehow found its way underneath of Richards.
Moran Weeks, so active, always looking for angles, finding ways to score. When you think Thompson's got the ball, he's going to find you if you're a cutter, especially a lefty.
Teeple Matthews. Teeple bowled over there, and that's going to be the interference call. And then Matthews chopped down by Tavares, well away from the play. On the stoppage, he's going to go.
Yeah, that's what you can't do if you're Mimico. This period is going exactly pretty much how you'd like it to go. 8:20 left. You get a away from the ball penalty. Don't think we're going to get a great shot of this. It's really far away from the ball.
Yeah. I think behind our camera coverage, unfortunately.
And for Orangeville, Matthews had some good looks. It feels like he's really due here. If you're Mimico, you got to do what you can to limit his looks. A great player, scored a lot of big goals in this league. He's going to find it eventually here.
Gives to Spallina this time. Quick stick. Oh, did Whittam save it? Somehow stays out of the net. And that's a couple times that Trey Deere, from the spot where he's put so many home, has been denied.
Got to bounce him.
Cross floor pass looking. Sanderson takes a hard bump. Director Rachel Wolf saying it was a toe save by Whittam.
Okay, I take that back. Away. I take that back. He did bounce him. 6 save. 6 save either way. But I retract my criticism, which I should say again, Maddie, I retract all my criticism. It's easy sitting up here, watching the game, easy to kind of critique. Well, I never want that to be kind of construed for any real criticism. These guys are playing their hearts out. They're playing really well. Both these are good teams.
That looked like a back in against Orangeville off the water shot.
Yeah,
and indeed, Mimico gets a fresh 30.
Mimico needs to do what they can here, a kind of a gift there that they earned, but they need to do what they can to kill as much of this clock as they can.
Jake Spalina on Dudemain. Gives a chop, and just in case, Donnie Scott over there to help out, and the two of them bring Dudemain down. Scott's lost his bucket, and Dudemain nearly got a shot away still.
Scott's a nice-looking player, a guy who's made some impact plays in this game. Him and Spalina do a nice job there bottling it up in the corner, but Scott's been really good in this game for Orangeville.
Another one of those, just plays Northmen lacrosse.
Yep.
Just hard-nosed in every single game. Down in the trenches, 15 seconds left on this power play. Perhaps last chance here, Jennings. It bounces back towards the crease. Cohen Jennings got the shot, and Whittam will bring it up to center for Lee. Bench saying he stepped back over the timeline. Officials aren't going to give him a call, and penalty expires. We go back 5-on-5.
That's a huge double save there by Whittam to get Mimico out of that penalty. Now 2 goals, 6 minutes left. Probably a little early to be looking at the clock, but we're getting there. We're getting close to that time where the clock really starts to play a factor.
Here's Waters. Looks back to Thompson. Floated one through the crease, but not on net. And I didn't want to say it on the penalty kill. Is this going to be delay a game going to be called against Mimico? I wondered if it was coming to Orangeville. But on his way off, Henry Caponiti talked about him learning the crease rule. He's going to learn the delay a game rule here.
You see that save first from Whittam. That is legit. And then the double save here is getting a Whittam highlight reel.
Caponiti getting the you can't do that serenading as well. He's learning a lot of junior A lessons here tonight. I didn't want to do it at the top of the last penalty kill. Probably shouldn't do it at the start of this one either, but you credited Mimico's defense in the third period. I'm going to credit them most of the way. 4 goals in that first.
No doubt.
And now just 6 through the next, 34 minutes.
No doubt. And folks, remember, if Orangeville scores here, that was Matt saying that, not me.
Appreciate it. Here's Spalina down low. Sanderson, Deer in that same spot on the crease. Can't get it to him. Double shot, and the second one from Sanderson. Both of them saved by Whittam. Thank you, Mimico defense, for bailing me out. McIsaac to Roussel. No sense of urgency right now for the Mountaineers. We're up by 2 on the scoreboard and trying to kill time. Roussel briefly down to Aeneas. He collided with Chipara. Then takes another big hit on the far side, facing a double team. Couple times he saved the over and back. And Roussel will get saluted by the Mimico fans who have come and sat to our right. Mountaineers call out who they got. Lots of options out there, including up top Owen Ron, already with a power play goal in this game.
It's the first time we've seen the strong right look.
I think that's why they were communicating so much. As the shot comes from Deer. Didn't hit the shot clock, no over and back either.
Boy, a lot of chatter, Matty, after every possession, especially Mimico defense, Orangeville offense. A lot of guys letting each other know how they feel about each other after every possession here.
As I said, I mean, we're 2 months away from the playoffs, but sign me up for 7 games.
Yeah.
Thompson out to the far side. Couple big high steps here on the run. Dudemain stumbled as he shot. Moran Weeks, big rebound, bigger save, Richards.
Remember that save. If Orangeville can come back in this game, remember that save by Richards there. Although another reset by Mimico. They've done a great job earning these resets and limiting the damage on these 2 late power plays for the Northmen.
Ryan Stein's going to slow it down as we come back to 5-on-5 with 4 minutes to play in regulation. Caponini out to the outside. One-on-one in the corner. Jake Spallina comes back for Steins. His low shot saved by Richards. Spallina picks up the rebound and quickly gives it off here to Aiden Long. No shot for Long, so he'll wait for the offense, led by Liam Matthews. Matthews will wait for the help in Cohen Jennings. To the corner. Fans trying to encourage the Northmen. Matthews has 6 in his shot clock. They call a screen violation against Long. As he knocked down Thompson, who gets up and accepts the ball.
I think now you have to worry about the clock. Now it becomes a factor. Mimico needs to not do that.
Nearly cleanly intercepted. Donnie Scott jumping the route. And his shot just wide, but backing up the play was Zach Poirier. T-pull into the corner. Moran Weeks sets the ruck there as it's rolling towards Whittam, who picks it up in the crease and will give way. A lot of defensive guys looking for a ball against offensive guys. And it was Vincent and Mimico that came out with it.
Good play by Vincent there. I thought he ran himself into a bit of a double team. Gets out of it. Gives it to Steins. Only 10 seconds left in the shot clock here, but Mimico will do whatever they can to take as much time off the game clock as is possible.
Give it back to Roussel, who did good last time. Here's
and that's huge.
Dudemain, winds and fires, and guess who? Chiapara with a big block. It went up and out of play.
That's actually better for Mimico there that it didn't go through. Obviously you take a goal, but the likelihood to probably get saved outside shot. The block into the mesh gives you 30 more seconds here, and that cuts down 1 less possession.
Waters Dudemain, that sounded like it hit pipe in behind Richards. Waters gets taken down. He must have been holding on to the stick of Spallina because ball is awarded here to Orangeville. And Richards is looking to the bench.
Now Richards are going to go, so 6-on-5 coming for Orangeville.
Inside the 2-minute warning. Extra tacker is on. It's Joey Spallina from the outside. Winds up the shot. Doesn't get a chance to use it though. Spallina to Sanderson. Dylan Sanderson looks back for Cam on the crease, and a nice stick check just in time from Taguri to take the shot away from Deere. Taguri up over center. Here comes Deere in the back pressure. That pops the ball free, and these two have been battling all night, and they'll battle for a loose ball, and Trey Deere is going to go to the box again, as now there's a meeting of the crowd after a late shove.
This is a nice end to the game. Well, not end to the game. A lot of plays left, but this is just a big dog play by Aaron Taguri. Takes the checks here. Looks like he's going to turn the ball over right here. Holds on to it. Well, actually does lose it. Wins it back long enough to draw the penalty. And now Mimico really can take 30 more seconds off, and then the 6-on-5 is eliminated for Orangeville.
As you said, those 30 seconds are probably more valuable than an insurance goal here. Up by 2. We'll get a wipe down. I'd like to thank everybody that's stuck with us through this game. We know we couldn't put it live, but to have you come and check it out the entire way definitely means a lot. We'll be back here on Tuesday. Another 8 p.m. start. And we've been told the IT department's coming on Monday ahead of our visit, so. Thompson up top. Mimico just going to keep this as far to the outside as they can.
If I'm Orangeville, I start pressing.
Lee to the corner, 5 on the shot clock. Lee gets it back for Thompson. Shot perhaps for Dudemain, and another big block, but another reset as Cole Teeple got his body in front. Inside the last minute now, and Thompson. Orangeville are going to press. Pressed up to Lee, which opened Roussel. Now Thompson. And Lee again. Down to the corner, Roussel. He'll work it back up the boards and eventually through Finn Thompson.
It's just tough, man, because what are you supposed to do if you're Orangeville? Tell your guys not to block the shots, like to just let them through? It's the right play, but it's just kind of hurt them on some bad bounces late in the game here.
Thompson to Lee. Weak shot saved by Richards, and we get the timeout call. And to your point from a couple games ago, I mean, those block shots are becoming more and more important in the box game, and not just because they've started tracking official shots in the NLL, but you just see more guys jumping in front of shots, and I mean, look what it did for Buffalo this year.
Well, it's become an expectation, I think, especially on the penalty kill, and then I think there's a kind of a lot of factors that go into it, but guys see the best players in the world doing it and winning championships, and I guarantee you that every team in the NLL tracks block shots, and they reward the guys who jump in front just as hockey teams do, and it's really valuable. Again, and if you're Orangeville, just some bad bounces here. Relatively low ceilings at Tony Rose. Might some of those, if you're in like Whippy or something like that, get up and down maybe. Just kind of a lot of factors that go into it.
28 seconds left to go, but goaltender is out. That only makes it 5-on-5 for the Orangeville Northmen. Going to need 2 and going to need them in a hurry. Starts with Garen Jennings. Into the corner, Matthews. Up top, Spalina. Matthews shoots, and Whittam. Rebound went to his left. He was looking right. Races on between Vincent and Matthews, and Vincent's going to give it up. But time looks like it's going to expire as Matthews lets another long one go, and a shoulder shrug save for good measure from Nate Whittam as the Mimico Mountaineers remain undefeated at a perfect 3-0 to start their season. Is an 8-6 victory here at Tony Rose.
Yeah, great win for the Mountaineers here to stay undefeated. They really are, one of the contenders in the league this year. I think Beaches is up there. I think this Northman team will have a lot to say about that before this year is done. And a great Friday night game here. Good crowd, obviously a fun building to be in. Natty, great to be calling this with you. And if you're Mimico, you got to feel pretty good about it. Just obviously 3 games in, but you got to feel pretty good about how this year's going.
Reminder to download the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League app where you can get your entire schedule, stats, standings, and scores. We'll be back here in Orangeville. Tony Rose Arena, another 8 p.m. start on Tuesday night. That's June the 4th. Thank you, Rachel Wolf, our producer and director tonight. For her calling Grimes, the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, my partner Jonathan Donville and the JVI Sports Network, I'm Matthew Carrick saying good night from Tony Rose. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you again on Tuesday.
Place of